Let's see how this goes. We're definitely going to be back when we finish this month. We're definitely going to be back at 0.1% rating because we've got loads of staff members reducing our rating every month. So that's going to be good. And I think next month is the last month we've got before we find out like what actually happened. And I think it's going to be the end of the game. Let's do it, baby. You won't be able to complete them. I know I can't. I don't have the staff. But I'm not bothered because I think it's only there to reduce rating. 2.6 so far, but watch this. Raise taxes. We didn't do it. Looks like you didn't rate my idea of introducing new tax regime because you got to think as well. I don't want to be. I don't actually want to be taxed myself. Imposing taxes on those that don't commit crimes. So I technically haven't committed a crime because that's what I'm trying to get out of. So I don't want to be hit by that. Couldn't do this. Didn't have the. Right, here we go. At first glance. Oh. Oh, because we didn't act on this. Honey, Kate is disappointed we didn't help her. She says that you can't let go of old grudges, but I know that's not true. But we certainly missed a great chance to turn that puppet master Wister into a lovely marionette. I didn't want to do that to him because, like I mentioned, I didn't want to make Wister himself look good. I'm just trying to make me look really bad and then boost Tony up. Mr. President, the Virtue Jack movie was released for rental. In my opinion, it's nothing special. Oh, there's hardly any blood and barely... Oh, because I didn't sabotage it, so I got 6.6%. There's hardly any blood and barely any torn off limbs, but people love it. They're saying it's a magnificent movie and it's the biggest franchise potential of the decade. The chief antagonist isn't you, it's Virtue Jack's dad. At the end of the film, the president even helps young Jack defeat evil and gives him a titanium boot for his courage. You didn't actually back the movie? Shit. I'm right in thinking that you are postponing the trash talk lawsuits until after the elections. We sue them all. Yeah, we'll sue them all afterwards. Right, so... Oh, good luck, see. I was at 10.7%. But because of... See, look. Nice boss. Minus 1.3, minus 1.1, minus 2.2, minus 0.8, minus 1. We're back at 0.1, lads. We can't be defeated. We can't be defeated in the lowest rank. And I've got nearly 30. I've got 30 million. I'm going to have 31 million. Watch this. I'm just going to pay to have everyone assassinated. I am looking forward to an assassination before we end our term. I mean, I'm getting a bit bloodthirsty. I said we've never had one in a while. $3.1 million. Oh, we can support them. Mr. President or lawyer says the document is a kind of official expression of your opinion. They say that this federal government document will protect separatist groups in all states. Authorities will be afraid to put a foot wrong. I beseech you to sign it and make America freer. Minus 6.2%. Now, I want to hold that off on that for a second. Because we can't seem to go below 0.1. So anything you use to go below 0.1 is wasted. So if we get any positives this month, we can just sink it again. Mr. President, it's been a while since I've seen such a dirty business and such an amazing success. The show about the First Lady's adultery simply blew up the airwaves. Everyone gasped when your guy came into the studio. It was bad enough that Ellie had slept with one of your staff, but the fact that he was married to boot, then his wife goes and turns up before the end of the live show and all hell breaks loose. Screaming, fighting, hysterics, quite the scandal for America. My ratings went through the roof, but your reputation has taken a serious hit. As far as the poor First Lady, I don't know how she must be feeling about the whole country sluts shaming her. Well, it was her idea. Unite the maniacs, did it work? Mr. President, the hypocrisy in this country is outstanding. The media is saying that the public is outraged by a union for criminals established by the people within your circle. While corporations across the country are blocking new unions for honest workers, you are protecting criminals who are not worthy of public attention, and then people wonder why we suddenly have so many psychopaths. But look, see how I didn't get any negatives for that? That's because I can't actually go any lower. Ruin a concert. The band going on a 3-month tour in Japan when they are extremely popular. We need to do something that will make them too afraid to come back to America. 5 or 10 years ago. What? We've already read this. This is like the normal thing. What? Send over a hacker to mess with their performance track. See, this is all the writing that should have been in the intro. Was Marnie chose people more for their height and their voice. The concert hall went so quiet, it was more like a funeral. It kind of was a bit like a funeral, because... Oh shit, we got positive rep. The death of your good name and a broken heart. Hey bud, Nipple of Freedom's performance in Tokyo was a roaring success. And your guy could do nothing about it, however hard they tried. They should have just cut out the backing track at least. None of this makes sense. It's a fucked up message. Mr. President, I have read many books on business strategies. Yeah, just fucking take it, mate. I'm glad you appreciate me. I'm going to sack you by the end of the month so I don't have to pay, because that's how I roll. 1 month left, lose the presidential election, it's happening. The new yeah, we've got it 9.3, lads. We are smashing this. Right, postpone that. Archie Wister is coming out on top in some campaign polls. If the president's rating continues to slide like this, the candidate of the officials, Archie Wister, may yet prevail next month. The country is holding its breath in preparation for the presidential debate. From the outside it may look like a game of checkers, but any informed observer will tell you the president and Archie Wister are playing the most complex three-dimensional chess game ever. Dear officials, I urge you not to give a damn about the interest of so-called ordinary Americans and support me in the election. I and I alone will be able to protect your interests. Honey, do you smell that? I was the one they were throwing rotten eggs at, right at the White House gate. I counted 15 cinnamons of the word whore by the time I got to the front door. It's like I'm living in some kind of nightmare. After all these sacrifices, if you don't lose, well, you better try really hard. I'll lose. Darling, the presidential election is only a month away. We don't have much time left to completely destroy your reputation and give wish to the White House. But I have a trump card up my sleeve. A feature article about how our so-called charitable foundation works. And when people find out about it, they'll make their minds up. They'll prefer Wister as a defender of government officials over a crook who profits while pretending to help children. I don't know if that's such a good idea. Archie Wister, Mr. President, the fateful hour has arrived. We are about to face off in a presidential debate in which I will show you beyond any doubt that I don't deserve to be President of the United States and that I am nothing compared to you. You think you can beat me at insults, threats and self-depreciating comments? I don't think so, but it may be the only thing I'm really good at, but I'm certainly good at it. So don't pack your suitcases, you'll soon see you'll be staying in the White House for another term. Well, I don't think we are. And we've only got 2 quests. Wasteful charity. We've got to do this. Honey, the trump card we have up our sleeve is a secret known to a very limited number of people. I'm talking about how your charitable foundation actually works. We have to expose that you've freely taken money earmarked for helping children and used it to pay Noah and the members of your team. Ava Sato, the manager of the foundation, is well known as a philanthropist, not least because she partnered with us. Before your campaign, she gathered donations for children's healthcare and was an outspoken critic of the healthcare system set up by Feist. After the election, the foundation continued its work. It even helped children, but we lost assets during the presidency, so we had to borrow some of the foundation's money. Although technically it's all supposed to go to charity, you have a choice: either force Ava to take the fall or leave things as they are. If you want to lower your rating even further, it's better to burn that bridge than to stay in the White House for a second term. You won't need Ava's services in the future. I don't know if this is a good idea, because this is this is like a... I don't know if I want to do this. I'm gonna leave things as they are. I don't want to do that because at the end of the day, I think that's like, it's illegal, isn't it? I don't really want to like end up in fucking jail. So let's do the presidential debate because I can get this rating down, no problem. Here we go, lads. We're gonna fling insults at each other. We're gonna call each other shitheads. Ladies and gentlemen, it's like, what is it? It's time for the main event. Let's get ready to rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you back to the debate stage. Tonight will be the only debate of the political season between the 2 leading candidates for President of the United States. The thing is though, presidential debates, like even in real life, are actually just them flinging shit at each other. There's not even a debate to be had. I don't think I've ever seen a presidential debate where anything was actually debated. It was just people calling each other names. It's fucking pathetic. Given how our audience appreciated the debate format of the vice presidential debate, we have decided to continue with the same format for the presidential candidates as well. I will try to stay out of the conversation and allow the candidates to moderate themselves. Let them prove in a free and open discussion who is more qualified to lead our nation into the future. Meet the president and his challenger, Archie Wister. Candidates, are you ready? Archie Wister: I don't know about my opponent, but I'm perfectly ready, Paul, thank you. My fellow Americans, today I will show you how the rights of the most oppressed group in the United States, the bureaucrats, are being violated. This is me. The most oppressed group in the United States are presidents. We are a vast minority, and the hair on our heads turn grey faster than anyone else's. You defending bureaucrats, seriously? Don't lie, Wister. We both know you're really for the people, and I'm the true bureaucrats kind of. I'm going to say this. The most oppressed group in the United States are presidents. We are a vast minority, and the hair on our heads turn grey faster than anyone else's. Yeah, I don't want to say this. Yeah. Presidents are the minority group. What are you talking about, Mr. President? You presidents now have the 28th Amendment, which protects you from persecution for life. That is, of course, if you manage to serve out the rest of your term. In essence, it will expand Amendment 28 and apply it to all officials, from the staff at City Hall up to the President's office. Actually, the President can't change the Constitution, Mr. Wister. If I can summon the strength, I will extend this amendment to all Americans. No one deserves to be persecuted. Yeah, let's just say that. People probably will like that. The next part of my program is prison reform. I will grant a mass amnesty to all former officials, and to ensure that we don't need to close any of our valuable prisons, I will fill them with new inmates by tightening the laws. Thus, with a single stroke, we will effectively fight crime and benefit from the legacy of the president, who worked so hard to bring fundamental change to the penal system. Penis what? Americans don't even know that word. Yes, I've made a lot of progress in that direction, and I've only just begun. Are you talking about how I put all the crooks back on the streets? Thus, with a single stroke, we will effectively fight crime and benefit from the legacy of the president, who worked so hard to bring fundamental change. Are you talking about how I put all the crooks back on the streets? What one person sees as a crook, others sees as a good citizen. We are the country of freedom of speech and opinion. The next item on my program is migration. Here we're going to have some truly revolutionary measures. I'm going to grant privileges to minorities who come to our country. For example, former officials of their respective countries' governments will be given priority rights to green cards. They will be the driving force behind America's development. I'll support such a measure in every way I can. We need to take a closer look at the flow of migrants into the country. Do you realise you're putting all other minorities at increased risk? I'll support such a measure in every way I can. Do you love America as much as I do? I love America, especially the Second Amendment to gun ownership. But something needs to be done about the emphasis. Only police officers and other government officials should have the right to freely bear arms. Others should enjoy privilege only in moderation. You forgot about the judges, Mr. Wister. We do have separation of powers, especially police officers. Day after day I hear about inadequate use of force. You want even more privilege for bureaucrats? Have you no shame? Especially police officers. People might like that. Yeah, especially police officers. I hear about inadequate use of force. Is that so, Mr. President? Then what prevented you from imposing these laws during your first term? Did Congress stand in the way, or were you too busy with your amendment? Officials have nothing to be ashamed of. They are the oppressed class who have been working for centuries for the good of the country, taking only a modest salary in return. Which brings up another item on my campaign platform: a promise to increase the minimum wage of civil servants many times over. The average bureaucrat brings enough value to society to rival any lawyer, programmer, or banker. I agree. Minimum wage for everyone across the board is too low. Where will you get all that money? Where will you get all the money for that, mister. Wait there, what's... lads, do you know what it is? I'm actually getting lost on what I'm actually trying to achieve here. Archie Wister's trying to lose. So none of this, not one of these is going to help me lose. I don't get this. I agree. Minimum wage for everyone across the board is too low. If I say this, he's just going to say, like, from taxes and that, people are going to hate him for that. They're going to love me for that. I'm just going to say I agree. I agree. I don't know how this is going to benefit me. In addition to staggeringly low salaries, government officials face numerous other humiliations. For example, they are constantly being harassed and insulted. My team has drawn up plans to put an end to such abuse. We will introduce fines for unjustified insults against individual officials and against bureaucrats in general. No longer will they be ridiculed class of society. And for insulting the president, you either get expelled from the country or put in the electric chair. I'd be such a repeat offender, you'd have to lock me up, put me in one of those cells I just freed up. Yeah, and for insulting the president, you either get expelled from the country or put in the electric chair. My, how determined you sound today, Mr. President. What's the matter? Afraid you're not tough enough to beat me? America knows who is really on the official side, so let's move on. Finally, we can't forget that the lives of officials are complicated. Today, more and more Americans are being allowed to use light drugs like marijuana. But given the enormous stress that officials are under, we should decriminalise not just marijuana, but also cocaine, heroin, and several other hard drugs, especially for their use in the workplace. That's the only way these brave government officials can meet the challenges facing the country of today. Don't forget acid and other synthetics. Imagine what kind of laws we'd have then. Doesn't your administration make frequent use? I've seen the thing they put on your desk. There's no other way to dream of stuff like that. That's going to work in my favour. If you think I'm talking nonsense, ask yourself this. Do we live in an equal opportunity society? One more decisive step must be taken. We must expand the bureaucracy several times over. First, we will make people stop oppressing the bureaucrats, and then we'll make all Americans bureaucrats. Then no one will ever be oppressed in America ever again. That's it for me, Mr. President. Since I was the first to speak today, I'll give you the opportunity to address America with the final word. I'm going to say, my fellow Americans, vote for me in the election. Because I don't want to seem like I'm... Obviously, I am trying to throw this election, but... My fellow Americans, vote for me in this election. Our time has come to an end, and that was quite a lively debate. It only goes to show that America has a tough choice to make come November. Thank you for turning in. I got 2.1%. The president was the clear winner of the debate. That's not to say he dramatically changed anyone's view of him, but Archie Wister sacked himself. He shot himself in the foot so many times. We can't help but wonder, doesn't Wister really want to get into the White House? It doesn't make a difference. We're still smashing him. Yo, President, I know I'm not in your camp, but I've had it with Wister telling me what to do. I want to demonstrate my independence and write that I have nothing against you personally and that I think you are a cool president. It's a great idea, isn't it? No. Director of National Intelligence, Mr. President, several major European publications are getting ready to print articles about corruption in your administration and ties with crime syndicates. For a small sum, I'd be willing to go through my channels to block these articles. No, don't do that. So I'm not going to do this because I don't really want to shoot myself in the foot. We've only got 1 month left to sign these bills, so why don't we sign minus 9%, minus 6.2. That's good enough, and we're going to get less I hereby announce that the White House supports any referenda initiated by citizens of the United States, including referenda of issues of self-decriminalization. Sign it. Mr. President, by signing the decree, we'll begin decaying process. It may not lead to a complete disintegration, but finally my childhood dream will come true. Are you ready to sign this historic decree? No. I'm actually going to do this. Prohibiting production and distribution of alcohol. Fuck it, let's do it. Honey, they'll call us crazy at the very least if we bring back prohibition. That's exactly what we need. Are you ready to sign? Yes. I want to sign that over the other one because at the end of the day, I don't really want criminals running about, even though I've kind of done that. Right, let's go next month. Let's see what happens. Do I want to... Let's do it. Let's do it, baby. Next month is very important for your political career. Are you sure you've made all the necessary preparations? Yes, I have. I'm ready, son. .1%. Beat that, mate, you mug. Wasteful charity. Yeah. Darling, did you decide not to set Ava up? Yeah, I did. Well, it's your call. I hope you've already taken enough steps to ensure Worcester wins the election. Yeah, I didn't really want to set her up. Oh my god, I'm just zero. Zilchio. Hey, this has got to be exciting. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. November. Sir, articles have been published in French, German and British publications accusing your administration of corruption. I could have stopped publication at least until after the elections, but I just didn't receive any incentive from you. Fine. You've been on the team long enough and you want 804 million? 804,000? No, I don't agree. That's far too much. You're on a binge every fucking day. Why do you want more money? It was an uphill battle, but Archie Worcester was able to defeat the sitting president in an election marked in the lowest voter turnout in modern history. In 3 months, there will be a new president in the White House. On the first day after his defeat, the president will host President-elect Archie Worcester at the White House to set in the motion the transfer of power. What will these former rivals discuss in their private meeting? Mate, I can't wait for this. Thank you, America. I came in a solid 3rd place in my first election. Those 1.98% who had the courage to vote for me, the candidate of the people, will never regret it. Nothing can end our fight against the establishment. It's only just the beginning. So by the looks of things, Estaba could never win in this game. That's not an option. Ooh, another turn. What's this? Estaba, so are you ready to hear the results of the election? I suggest you sit down. America has never seen such obvious deception. Since we'll never see the real numbers, we'll have to base our bet on the numbers of those crooks reported. You remember our bet? You bet what percentage of America would vote for Tony Estaba. Yeah, I predicted 35%. You predicted 50%. Our prize is 0. But first I've got to ask, who did you leave the country to? To that crazy villain Worcester? The deceiver who made it look like even with Estaba's witnesses, I only got 1.3% of the vote. I'll never believe that's the actual result. I'll have more followers on Twitter than that. It's damned history repeating itself. Fraud in Florida. That's how Worcester stole the election victory by getting 271 electoral votes. That's got to be fraud. Florida voted for us last time. But the media is hiding the truth. They're calling me a spoiler. They say I got most of my votes in Florida and that the locals there had voted for you instead of me. The whole election would have gone the other way. You would have beaten Worcester and become president again. I'd love to give you my votes, but I tried. The committee already turned me down. You're some piece of work. You just went along with Ellie and spent the whole campaign tearing yourself down. I don't even know what to think. We could have carried on the fight against the establishment together. I'm disappointed in you, buddy. You lost the bet. My guess was closer to the result, so I keep the money. Mate, there was no money. That's why I bet 0. Goodbye, my old friend. Goodbye, my lover. Dude. we got a victory sound for losing the election. Mr. President, I've got to say, I'm a little disappointed in the election results. I thought we had a real chance. Now I'm feeling a little down. It wasn't my fault you lost, was it? You're not mad at me, are you? Recently you've gotten a little scary, to be honest. I have a question for you. I can go back to my day job now, right? You don't need me for anything else, do you? I know you already have a lot of contracts, but let me know if I can be useful. I'm especially good with women. I bet he is. He's the best with women. Congratulations, honey. I can hardly believe it, but the most popular man in the world not only turned on a dime, but managed to completely flush his rating right down the toilet. And in just a few short months, I have to admit, when I realised that we were running against Wister, the most loathsome president candidate in history, I thought we didn't stand a chance of losing, but you have outdone yourself. Whatever you are, wherever you are, soaring through the clouds or drowning in the gutter, you are always the best. Oh yes, it's time for our administration to hand everything over to Wister. Protocol requires that we arrange a meeting with him at the White House. I asked that we dispense with the press and just talk face to face. Now you can humiliate him, not just in public but privately too. I've still got a funny feeling Wister's got an ace up his sleeve. Maybe this is what he wanted, a fond farewell. Come on then. See what this motherfucker's got to say. Archie Wister, Mr. Outgoing President, it's good to see you. I haven't been in the White House in a long time. It's cozy here, much better than the jail cell I was in 4 years ago. Why do you love formality so much, Archie? Wolf, take the president-elect outside and don't let him in until he knocks. I'm just going to tell him, go back outside, knock, and then come in properly. What nonsense is this? Since when has the White House been so rude to the president-elect? In fact, I wanted to congratulate you on a game well played. I admit, this round goes to you. But don't get too excited. You realise you're now the enemy of the most powerful man in the world. Tell me, how does it feel? Are you frightened yet? You're not the most powerful man in the world, believe me. What round, Wister? This isn't a sport, it's politics. You don't have time for another shot. You're not the most powerful man in the world, believe me. Oh, really? I could overturn your amendment. I could wipe you out. I'm the future president of the United States. I'll be able to put all your friends away. At the very least, I can destroy all of them. Not really. You have the lowest approval rating of any president in history. A little propaganda, a couple of populist decrees. I'm sure you know the drill. My ratings will go up. Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. I have already drafted an executive order appealing to the 28th Amendment. I assure you it will soon be issued. Don't be ridiculous. Every Supreme Court judge on the branch will wipe you out. The score would be 9-0 in my favour. Wolf, could you kindly throw that jerk out the door? He's annoying me. Don't be ridiculous. Every Supreme Court judge on the bench will wipe that out. The score will be 9-0 in my favour. So, this is how you think a president should communicate. I'm not president anymore. I can say whatever I like. Wolf, could you kindly throw... Oh, shit. I wonder if this guy was recording me. Wolf, could you kindly throw that jerk out the door? He's annoying me. Mr. President-elect, please, it's time for you to go. Fine, it's time for me to go, but I have a few final words for you. Your amendment will be repealed. All your crimes will be investigated. After that, you'll be arrested, convicted, and incarcerated in one of the prisons you built yourself. Enjoy your last few months of freedom. It's our dear friend admitting he was wrong and accepting the situation. Expensive friend, that's for sure. Knowing him cost me a lot of money. What? Is our dear friend admitting he was wrong and accepting the situation? If only, he'll keep digging. Yeah, I heard you two talking. Sounds like you'll never stop. Anyway, you can relax. He didn't stand a chance against us. He knows it too. He was just trying to provoke you into making a mistake. But he can try all he likes. That train already left the station. If he gets too ambitious, he'll go to jail himself. This time for a long time. Our administration has already started transitioning our cases. In the meantime, you can take care of any formalities you might say goodbye to the world leaders. Some of them are pretty colourful, although I must admit, it'll be nice not to have to see them again. I should also remind you that our contracts with the team expire in January, so if you have any assignments left that you want to send them on, you still have a couple of months. Okay, let's see how this works. Right. Mr. President, this embarrassment will be branded across your entire career. My party's candidate lost to that scumbag. That lowlife is going to destroy our country, and you just gave it to him. I was afraid you might want to intentionally lose this election, and now you've gone and done it. You think you can get away with this? You've embarrassed yourself, me, the party, and the whole country in front of the world. I'm sure you can't just wait for the well-deserved retirement, but it won't be the joyride you imagine, Mr. President. Well, we'll fucking see about that. Now, who do we want to speak to? Because these are all the people I helped, didn't it? I like the Prime Minister of Japan. Mr. President, I'm considering putting the entire country under the control of artificial intelligence. Do you think it's time? Yes. Yes. Just do it. Make an example of yourselves. Mr. President, thank you for your confidence, but I warn you that unlike the former Madam Prime Minister, I will be very wary of you. My algorithms, which have analysed your entire career, demand this. Mr. President, I remain grateful to you for saving my life and not turning me over to the tyrant Pietlev. My people are waiting for the imposter to be replaced by the real president. I and my comrades in arms are already working to make this happen as soon as possible. President of Mexico. Mr. President, nice to see you again. Here's the thing, the establishment of my own party doesn't want to nominate me for another term and suggests that I quietly merge. Should I just blow them off and go to the primary anyway? The establishment of my own party doesn't want to nominate me for another term and suggests that I quietly merge. Should I just blow them off and go? Yes, just do it. Blow them off. Mr. President, over the last 3 years, the flow of drug trafficking into our country has decreased significantly. I am confident that this is a result of your wise policy in dealing with your neighbour to the south. Even if word doesn't get out, I'm sure you will always be remembered with a kind word in the intelligence community. Now, Israel. Actually, India. We had a good partnership with India. Mr. President, our joint project to study dark matter is progressing rapidly, but elections are coming up in our own country, and I'm not sure I can stay in power. Would you be willing to extend the term of the project so that if I cease to be Prime Minister, our countries would continue to march into the future together to confront China and Russia? Yes. I'm so grateful to you, Mr. President, so much so that I'm now ready to leave my post with a light heart. Mr. President, without the support of my own party's establishment, I couldn't get enough votes and lost the primary. I'm afraid this is where we say goodbye, and most likely though, we are neighbours. We will never see each other again. Goodbye. The Minister of Israel. Mr. President, I haven't heard from your predecessor in a couple of years. Can you help me find him? Yes, okay, I will. I actually want to know where he is. Thank you. That bastard Jew lost 2 bottles of whiskey to me and still hasn't paid me back. If I find him, I'll kill him, I swear. Wendy Gardner. Oh, that same faced ex-wife. Mr. President, I happen to have recently been able to make contact with Jew. I won't divulge details so as not to set him up, but he left a word for you. Son of a bitch, you have exceeded my wildest expectations. You managed to beat old Wister like the last fool he was. I have nothing but respect for you, my friend. I hope to see you away from prying eyes sometime and we'll talk about life. Lads, we've just became Wister. It's so funny. We became what we hated. Pietlev, this guy's a cocksucker. Mr. President, during your current term, you have managed to do an incredible thing to reconcile our countries. Oh, that's because I signed the bill. Which seemed to be simply impossible. They say that the happy ones don't see ours, and we, the Russian president, don't see deadlines. Just kidding, of course, but I'm not going anywhere just yet. Will you come to my meeting at the Kremlin? Does this guy want to have me assassinated? Go on then. Fuck it, let's do it. Right, let's go into next month. We're probably going to get assassinated. .1% rating. What a banger. Mr. President, I apologise, but I have to cancel our meeting in the Kremlin. Gruzdev's people seem to be up to something, so I'll be forced to stay in the underground bunker for a while. Isn't that what you do when you're afraid of being killed by the Chinese, if not by your own? Well... Cowboy. Yeah, just a little bit. How, like... No. Okay, cowboy, make sure I was asking too much. You're getting good enough money, you know, don't get too spunky. A group of the president's supporters believe that the election results were rigged. They claim that the president is being held hostage by the establishment. They are demanding audits in several states where President-elect Wister won according to the official count. With my first executive order, I intend to protect the most disadvantaged minority in America, public officials. Any unwarranted criticism will be punished by fines or prison terms. Estaba. I've already launched the Estaba 2028 campaign. As part of the campaign, we will support candidates for Congress who support the Witnesses platform. May you be blessed with having sex at least once a week, my children. Darling, after 4 years of watching American politics up close, I see a circus full of clowns, but then I remember the kind of people who sometimes run other states, and I realise we are thankfully still a long way from their circus. How nice that we will soon be able to forget all of this. I hope so. Honey, I hope you do remember that our employees are entitled to a bonus this month. They did a great job and deserve some encouragement. Yep. They're all going to get paid what they deserve. New events. Queen of Great Britain. Mr. President, thanks for your support. I'm convinced that sooner or later I will be able to retire and leave the country to Robert and Sophia. May I ask you that if Robert goes astray from the right path, you will guide him again? I'll do that. I'm glad, Mr. President, but I hope it will never be necessary. It's true that there are still many restless children in my extended family who need to be taught good manners. When the time comes, I'll be sure to ask for your support. Is there another drinking problem? Yeah. Nothing changes. Vasquez, Supreme Court wife of a Supreme Court Justice. Mr. President, Robert's health has been on the mend since he retired. Oh, that's the guy that I made retire. He's always grumbling that he's gone for nothing, that the country's a mess without him, but I'm used to that. But now that he's out of work, he's finally paying more attention to his family, and I'm grateful to you for appointing a worthy man to replace Robert. Even he, with a fiddling heart, admits it. So we did some good. President of China, Australia was a cocksucker. France, oh my god, we need to do the one with France. This is the one we convinced to fucking join our cult and pay us loads of money. Mr. President, I haven't heard anything in months from the powerful organisations into whose ranks I was accepted. Have I been expelled from it? No. We're just lying though for a bit. I'm sorry, Mr. President, but I don't believe you. Otherwise, why did you stop any contact with me? There seems to be something you're not telling me. Noah, Mr. President, it's been a fruitful partnership with you. It's a shame to lose such a valued client, but fortunately the future President of the White House is also a client of mine. Could be bad. The Prince of Saudi. This guy's a legend, he's me mate. My friend, now that I'm one step away from succeeding my father, will you give the tower that is rightfully mine? What tower? No. What? You can't even share one unhappy tower of old friendship? I'm disappointed, my friend. I think he's talking about the oil rig. He's not getting it. Anonymous. Mr. President, you must be wondering why the defence contractors have never contacted you during your tenure as President. The answer is simple. Our business is always going great no matter who is President, I assure you. Australia. Let's see what this bitch says. Mr. President, charity is wonderful. Without it, our world would be terribly unfair. Tell me, don't you want to unite our philanthropic aspirations by creating a joint philanthropic foundation? I go on then, let's do it. Fine, Mr. President, my lawyers will work on the legal framework and send you the opinion. I hope to know you know how to keep more than just your secrets. Philanthropist, Eva Sato. Mr. President, our lawyers are already working to reissue the closed fund so that when you retire you can manage your assets more freely. Excellent. Oh, I've reclaimed all of my assets. I've reclaimed every single one. I'm rich, bitch. President of China. This guy's a mug. Mr. President, tell me, do I look even more enchanting than I did last time we met? Yes, you do. You look like a fucking devil. Thank you for the compliment. If we meet again, I'll do my best to look even better. I think this guy wants to suck me off. My ex-wife. I can't believe I'm going to be the first lady. Oh, what the fuck. So she did it anyway. I'd missed my chance a long time ago, but this is how it turned out. I hope Ellie won't be mad at me, but the White House is lousy right now. I'm going to have to redo it. Archie already gave me his go-ahead. What a stupid bitch. Yang Hee-suk, President of the Directors Guild. Mr. President, our firms are making less and less money in the United States and Western Europe. That's why we had to repurpose almost the entire film industry for China, so that it could survive it all. I hope that you keep a good relationship with the chairman of the party. He's a charming man. Right, let's go. Bonus, pay them. Everyone deserves the bonus. January. I'm still thinking what's going to happen. There's little time left for the inauguration of the new president, Archie Wister. America waits in suspense. What can they expect from a president who has made interest of government officials such a key part of his agenda? The president is leaving the White House. The first lady is rumoured to be thrilled, having lamented for years at the deplorable state of the president's residence and dreaming of a return to her home in New York. Archie Wister, the day has come, my friends. The day when the greatest power of America rests in the hands of the most disadvantaged class in society. I promise all of you, I will not fail you, my dear friends, my dear government officials. The thing is though, right? This guy, Archie Wister, is dying on this hill of trying to benefit government officials. He should have only been doing this on his lead up to presidency to try and lose. But he won. So if he had any sense, he would do a 360 degree on this and try and get the public favour so that he can get laws passed to try and get me out. He's doing it wrong. He's fucking himself in the arse. Hey, Governor of Hawaii, Mr. President, I've already discussed with your wife the terms under which you will continue to use our resort after you leave office. I'm glad that you like it as much as you yourself are willing to stay with us in the future. I hope that we will continue our fruitful cooperation even when you are no longer president. Honey, remember that damages decree you signed? They are done tallying damages and calculating compensation. Congratulations. Mr. President, an escort? That type of escort, or like what? I promised to tell Mr. Face that he used our services when he left the country. Keep in mind, if you need my services to pull off a similar operation, I will always be happy to help. Oh, that's the passport woman, isn't it? Mr. President, my father didn't just bail me out, he's taken me off your team. I had to compromise that I'd stop being Virtue Jack. On the bright side, I've already been contacted by a Hollywood producer who was offering me a role in the new superhero movie. The movie's executive producer is one of Wister's biggest campaign contributors. I play the role of a superhero who stands guard over public officials, protecting them from biased criticism and insults. Do you think it'll be good? I don't. Oh, Debbie's gone. Mr. President, your belief in me gave me the confidence I was lacking. I finally realised that this was exactly what I needed to get a job. And finally I got an offer. Imagine, I didn't even send in a resume. I got the call. My friend says that the office lists Wister as one of its clients, but I still couldn't let the opportunity pass me by. Thank you for everything and good luck. It's okay. Sir, my wife isn't happy that I've been getting almost no time off lately. I want to spend more time with my children and my wife. I just got an offer from a private security company that handles Wister's campaign. They say the hours there are reasonable. Thanks for everything. I'll never forget you. Mr. President, I'm receiving threats from Wister's people. They're saying that people like me are going to be taken down for the next few years and forced to march in formation. I can't keep risking my safety. I'll have to go underground, and to do that, I'll have to cut all ties with you. So long. Sir, I'm glad I was able to work with you, but our contract is coming to an end and I feel like I've learned everything I can from working with you. But mate, you were fucking drunk 90% of the time. I've been to dozens of elite parties, gathered hundreds of acquaintances, thousands of subscribers and tens of thousands of likes. Lately I've been getting blacklisted by some evil dickheads, apparently because I work for you, but I wouldn't have gotten anywhere near what I have now if I hadn't accepted your offer, so thank you and good luck in your next phase of life. Mr. President, even I am fed up with the incredible cynicism of American politicians. I'm sorry, but I can't take it anymore. I want to live somewhere where people don't think all day long about how to cheat and steal a little more. I hope you too will eventually escape from this toxic environment. Let Wister rot in that swamp if he and his cronies like it so much. Have a nice day. So he's actually just leaving on his own terms. Clint, Mr. President, my guru has been calling me to move to India for a long time, but first I had to complete my agreement with you. Now that the time has come to an end, I am no longer constrained by any legal responsibilities. Have a good life and wish me the ultimate enlightenment. Good luck, lad. You're a star. Big Ollie, Chief, you will always be in my heart, but I feel like I can't keep working for you. You probably only kept me out of pity. Huh? No, I didn't. Why does the President of the United States need such a slouch like me? Bro, you're a fucking star member. I'm begging you, end this farce. Yes, it's probably not going to be easy for me, but who needs me anyway? Of course. I can't rule out the possibility that I might have to take a thankless job. I could even have to start working within one of Wister's organisations. But you've done so much for me that I can't allow myself to keep accepting money from you. Thank you, Chief. Goodbye. Oh, my star girl. She was like my bit on the side. Cowboy, over the years of working with you, I finally realised my true calling. I'm going to become an actress and will star in westerns. Surprised? I'm a little surprised myself. And when I told Ellie, she was shocked. But I told her it's my true calling. Then there's no more time to waste. Thank you, goodbye, Chief. At least she's not going to be running against me, because she is a force to be reckoned with. It's a good thing we don't have to settle things with the team. It was expensive to keep them, but now everyone will find something new to do. Wait a minute though, there seems to be one person left on our team who will never ever leave you. It's Alvaro. I'm sure both you and I can trust him far more than any of the Secret Service. I think you know who we're talking about. Alvaro, he's the master, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend, the assassin, the fucking protector of the best person in fucking US presidency history. Sir, I see that everyone is leaving you, but I can't bring myself to do it. We've been through so much together. How could I ever leave you? What are we even talking about? I'll always be with you, sir. You've repaid me and my brother with kindness, and I'll always protect you wherever you are. Whoever you are and whatever you do, no Secret Service will do more to protect you than I've done and will do. Thank you, sir. I'll be happy to be with you and your beautiful wife for the rest of my life. Bro, it brought a tear to a glass eye. Estaba! Dude, you didn't think I was just going to give up, did you? We'll get this straight. Estaba never gives up. I won't just give up power to the goddamn establishment led by Wister. The witnesses and I will press boldly on until a man of the people becomes president again. The one you once were, old friend, and the one I, Antonio Estaba, will someday become. I hope that's true. Darling, the inauguration of Archie Wister as President of the United States is just around the corner. That's your last obstacle in the way. After that, we'll leave the White House and we can just enjoy our lives. Please, one last time, read the speech as well as you know how, and leave people of America in peace. My fellow Americans, bish bash bosh. Four years have passed unnoticed, not unnoticed. These 4 years have been the longest of my life. My presidency has come to an end. Don't worry, I'll be leaving you soon. All good things must come to an end. It has been a good presidency. I've done loads of fucking great things for the country. We have defeated the establishment. I believe that you will remember me with a kind word. Especially with Wister as president for a couple of months. After all, we've accomplished so much in my time in the White House. After all, we've accomplished so much in my time in the White House, which is true. And it would have... We have defeated the establishment. The American elite has bent the will of the people. If only by preserving the establishment from defeating us. All bureaucrats know their place now. We're going to have to do this to get him out, because obviously they don't want that. America is in an era of real justice. The American dream is no longer a fiction but a reality. Ordinary people can afford more than ever before. An era where the federal government is with the people, not apart from them. No. Ordinary people can afford more than ever before. And it would have all been empty words if he hadn't passed a constitutional amendment during that term. I did establish law and order. I think this is the best option, because we don't want to put this in their mind that that's like a goal of Archie Wister's to thingy. What we want to do is we want to concentrate on the positives we actually did, because Archie Wister can't do that if we hadn't established law and order during this term, which we did. But then again, I did let all the criminals out, so that might backfire. If we hadn't passed the constitutional amendment during the term, I'm going to say it. Now there are real checks and balances in place. Power in the country now belongs to the people. Constitution is now true to the spirit of the times. Power in the country now belongs to the people. We need to say that because they're going to get Archie Wister out. Power in the country now belongs to the people. For the first time in history, the federal government is truly accountable to the citizens. And now there's nothing you can't do. Especially if you become president and finish your term. Especially if you save a lot of money. Especially if you believe in your power. I'm happy to have been able to be your president. The years in the White House were the best of my life. The years in the White House were the best of my life. America, I will always love you. Bish bash bosh, that's a fucking banger, that, man. That was a banger of a speech. Big Alvaro. Lads, I think we're going to get assassinated. But why would we? We did do some pretty shady fucking things, like. See, we still have access to all of this. You know what I've got? Whoa! I've got $528 million! Do you know why I've got $528 million? I think it's because I did this. Correctional Limited. Because remember, we didn't get the benefit of that until after my term, so I've got so much money. Do you know what I'm going to do? I've got a funny feeling, right? I'm going to get this guy a passport. Oh, everyone's disappeared. So, I might as well just leave him there. Yeah, he's alright there. Right, let's go. Let's find out what's a crack-a-lackin'. Even though I'm not president anymore, I can still sign all these bills. I wonder if I just sign all these bills, like... I could also sell all of this shit. I could probably get my rating, like, really, really high. But I don't think we need to. Let's go. 88 grand to pay. Do it, mate, mate. You're my fucking bodyguard. Oh shit, look at this. January 2026. What's happening here?
Good morning.
Ellie.
Good morning. Hi. Thank you for coming. Good morning. You look wonderful.
What have we got here?
Hey, take it easy. This is the United States Attorney General, after all.
It's all right, Ellie. I know these men are just doing their jobs. Oof, you got a real Fort Knox here. Besides, on this island, I am not the AG. I'm a GA angster. A gangster, you know?
Gangster, son.
You're as gangster as they come, Leslie. You'll be here all day, I hope.
Oh, you kidding? You're gonna need more Secret Service dudes than this if you try to get rid of me. I've been telling your husband for a long time. It's a federal crime to have parties like this for less than 3 days.
Well, if it's one more federal crime you can't charge him with.
For that, and for that Chilean nonsense he brought last time. Nothing better than a good Californian wine. No amendment will save him now.
We won't disappoint you this time. This will be delicious. Plus, it'll be fun and noisy.
Noisy? I love it noisy.
Yes, I decided. Since this is the first anniversary of our departure from the White House, we should mark the occasion with something special.
With what?
Victory fireworks.
So we succeeded. That was it. We did it. We did it, lads. We did it. So, what can I say about the game? I really enjoyed it. I did actually really enjoy it. It did have some... Hold on. Hold on a second. Oh fuck, how do I do this? I'm probably gonna have to mute this song. Can we skip this? Yeah, just because last time at the start of the playthrough I had the music on and I got hit with copyright things. So what can I say, lads? Like I really enjoyed the game. There were some things that really like kind of annoyed me, and the main one was sometimes when you get them little cards in between months that were like I don't know how to phrase it. I've actually forgot how it is, but would you mind? So this is how it was posed. Would you mind giving me £10? Would you mind giving me some money? And the two options are yes or no. So obviously, if someone asked, would you mind if I took £20? If you said yes, that means they're not going to be given it. But if you say no, that means you are going to give it, right? Because of the way it's phrased. And that is confusing, because sometimes it wasn't actually consistent. Sometimes if someone asked you, do you mind giving me money? And you answered yes, as if to say, yes, I mind giving you money, you would give them money because it was yes, you're going to give them money. It was really fucked up, right? And sometimes the decisions I felt were important decisions, but you weren't sure whether you were picking the right option because it was a fucking gamble on whether the developers had coded the right yes or no to match with what the words of the description said. Another thing about those cards in between months, some of them were just like uninteresting and boring. It was just a method of basically lowering your rep. Like the game was against you to lower your rep, and it was very hard to raise your rep with. It's very hard to raise your rep with missions. It's very hard to raise your rep with decisions. The best way to raise your rep is to have your party members in specific places, so that at the end of every month you get a guaranteed like 5% or something rep. Other than that, I loved the game. I thought it was great. I thought the characters were great. I actually felt like a bond with my team that I had, and it really boiled my. Oh, that's another thing that annoyed me, but I understand why it was done. Was when your team members have a falling out, and they don't want to work with each other, and other people leave because others are playing music. It's like you just want to pick them up and shake them and be like, "Yeah, man, pack it in." We're the fucking government, like. With the presidency, you need to sort it out, man. We're not children. But yeah, game was excellent. I did not expect it to be this long. Fucking 30 hours. Obviously, it would be faster if you were playing it solo because you wouldn't have to read everything out. But I loved it. Okay, lads. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough of This Is the President. I was successful. I passed the Constitution. Sorry, amending the Constitution. I'm no longer held accountable for my crimes. I'm a multi-millionaire. And I'm throwing banging parties at my awesome mansion. What more can you want? The only other thing I could have asked for is if Alta would have joined me as my sex slave. Other than that, it's been a perfect ending. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you in another playthrough, lads.